There are emotions I can't really describe with language, and music helps a lot with getting all the emotions out of your system and trying to translate your own feelings towards other people. I'm Jakob. I'm a quality assurance engineer at Sonible, and I produce and mix electronic music. I think the biggest challenge when mixing your own music is your own emotional bias and attachment to it. As humans, we always have the bias that what we add and what we do is great and enhances the mix or the product or the art. So we have to be critical with ourselves and really judge ourselves as much as possible to be able to learn. SmartEQ4 helps a lot because it always can give you an unbiased technical second opinion on the fly. So I really judge my own decisions using SmartEQ4 as a second opinion. So we are now in a session of mine, a new track. And the first thing I'm doing now, because I left off there, is my shaker sound. So let's solo the shaker. I usually like to do my EQ settings always with the channel strip because it gives me a very fast workflow. I have added a lot of high end to make the shaker stand out more, and I have removed some body at around 1.5 to 1.8K. Let's see how SmartEQ4 reacts to my decisions and if SmartEQ4 actually can improve my result and the shaker sound. I'm now selecting the profile hi-hat, which is hi-hat and shaker. For me, it works very well on those two sources. It does something in the low and mid end, which I don't really like. I don't really see any need for cutting there or boosting there, to be honest, because I have a lot of other elements within the mix that can fill up this frequency space. So I'm cutting this part of SmartEQ4 suggestion and smart filter. And now what I do is I do blind A/B testing. I will just click very often into the plugin and close my eyes. I can say, okay, SmartEQ4 suggestion actually makes sense. Let's switch to the snare channel. It is now deducting way too much in the mid region. I really like the snare to pop through in the mid region, so I will also limit the width of the impact. I like the sound now, also with the added high end that SmartEQ4 suggested. What I really like about SmartEQ4 is the group feature where several instances of the plugin talk to each other. I have already set up the drums group, so I will add my snare into this. I can now decide the layer where I want the snare to sit in. And I really like the front because the snare has to pop through. I will create another curve and can separately set the impact. It deducts gain in the main body of the snare, so I will just also limit this width as well. But I really like those settings overall. SmartEQ can do really surgical and precise EQing, but you do not always want that. In drums, for example, you have a lot of mixing sources within one single track, and you don't want SmartEQ4 to react too much to one single source. I can use one of the most underrated features, in my opinion, about SmartEQ4, which is called smoothing. This basically averages the frequency response of the EQ and gives a very broad suggestion. And I really like the suggestions SmartEQ4 gives me as well, adding some high end and actually deducting a bit of the mid-range. There is always intention in music. to also second guess not only yourself but the tool you're using is very important, in my opinion. And that's the great thing about a tool like Smart EQ 4. It always shows me what is technically correct, but I decide on the artistic vision I have. I still decide what sounds good and how I want to use Smart EQ 4 to my advantage.